Welcome to the beach. It is day 3 of the action here at the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships, the debut event here in Portimão, and we are getting ready to go, folks. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, alongside Jamie Rabbits on the call this morning to bring you coverage on our women's division. It's Florida matching players against Yaka, true fan favorites, and Yaka will start out on defense. We'll get our first look at this Floridian team.
Yeah, we're starting out straight away with a brick pull. Seen quite a lot of those this week so far with the variable wind conditions. At the moment, not seeming to be as strong as it has been throughout the week, but still enough to make these teams think about it. We'll have to focus on these throws, but should have a good game in store for us here, Hannah.
Well, hopefully. I mean, certainly we picked it yesterday evening with Patrick van der Valk, Mr. BULA. And of course, an excellent event. We travelled through the inclement weather conditions from yesterday, but hopefully all of today's play will be sunny, as you see in front of you, with that low sun rising high. So Florida matching players coming out with some vertical, nice isolation. The deep is found, and the deep is connected with a layout grab. Fantastic work from Marissa Coolidge.
Yeah, really nice there from Florida matching players to escape that big Yaka pressure. Honestly, Yaka were shutting down the first option, the second option, and Florida matching players having to swing around the back a little bit, but finding that opportunity to take the deep shot and a really nice grab to reel that one in and take that hold, clean hold to start the game.
A dreamy start, as we said. Sort of in that point yesterday was quite the battle against the conditions. I mean, even you yourself, Jamie, were not so keen to play your final round of the day.
No, we ended up playing. The rain did let up a bit, but the schedule got pushed back and we played in the dark instead. So that was an interesting one, but did manage to come away with the win at least. So it was worth staying out till sunset and then up again at sunrise to get started this morning. But you know, we're on the beach, so cannot complain about the conditions whatsoever.
Well, thankfully you had a bit of a young team, so your eyes may have had a better chance of seeing. So it's been an interesting start to the tournament. Yaka, though, we are expecting to do a little better. They are 2 for 2 in their record, or 2 and 2 with 4 games played, whereas for the matching players, this would be their second win. Spinning around on the far sideline, and a shoot to the end zone, but that one isn't quite so perfectly weighted. Duchamp unable to collect.
Yeah, some nice flow there from Yaka down the far sideline, but perhaps just trying to take one too many before looking to center that disc. They did seem to have good spacing on offense, so that would be good for them to ramp up into it, but Florida matching players with the chance to work the disc back at the pitch.
Well, a slightly high stall for the first pass for the D-line. But just the handler's going to work. That one with lots of air underneath it, but well held by Erin Godding. But it's a ripper of a backhand. Caitlin Travellini sends it, and perfect read underneath, just shy of the tape. Jeanette Rowe tries to go for a bit of long jump in the sandpit. This is smooth flow, that one a little bit far out, and is indeed Alexis, trying to make it work, but that one just a bit too much.
Yeah, Florida matching players managed to find those opportunities to take the deep shots, but couldn't connect on that swing pass on that occasion. So
the second chance for Yaka to punch their first one in the scorecard. Look how free that option is. Fantastic work from Paula Langlois. Just pushing it up the sideline, beating players deep to the open side. But the swing too much, and Langlois makes the bid, but just comes up asking.
Unbelievable catch from Langlois before that, but not able to take that one down, and Florida matching players will be looking to get that flow going again.
Well, I don't think she was expecting that one to quite so to the break side, but that's another great catch. Erin Godding. And then through this time, the long jump action will work. Caitlin Travellini grabbing the goal. Well, I have to say, she rather dominated that point. We knew that the number 15 was going to have lots of big throws, Jamie.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what you need on the beach. You need to be able to threaten that deep space and make the other team think about it. Yaka have been applying the pressure, but Florida matching players able to, in the end, get through. And yeah, like you say, those deep shots are what is opening up this Yaka defense right now for Florida matching players. And we'll have to see if Yaka can just settle the nerves, get this hold in. But Florida matching players will be looking to get another break with the wind behind them.
Well, sensational bids for our second point of the game, a dirty break, as you may call it. Of course, number of turnovers, so Yaka just need to steady the ship. They have a lot of experience, of course, on sand and on grass. They appeared in Royam last year. They're going to take the option. Amand Babiquian underneath it. Perfect read. Well, when you need her to rise in situations, that youth player always delivers.
Yeah, I quite like the option of Babiquian in the deep space. Always going to chase those down with full energy, and a really good read of that disc. It did start to fade at the end, but taken down with authority for the goal by Babiquian, and that's an important hold for Yaka early in this game, giving them this downwind defense opportunity. We have seen obviously some great offense out of Florida matching players, but Yaka have been building that pressure already in this game, so we'll have to see which of the two sides can come out on top for this next point.
Well, mentioning the energy that Babiquian has, she's only 21 and has been on our screens delighting us with big plays for a while. And we are missing one of the world's greatest throwers who we normally see for Yaka. Of course, that being a certain Aline Ondio Rasta. Not on this roster, but we do have one of the emerging talents coming out of France, Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre, but that one emerges just in the sand. Wilson the target, but overshot. And a gift for Yaka to bring it back on serve. Oh, but they drop on the tape. Audrey Champ unable to just close the hands. Big fakes, and a player found completely open under. And again, it's a launch for Florida matching players, but again, Natalie Wilson taking the disc that's overthrown.
Yeah, just perhaps a little bit rushed there, almost too much space for the thrower and time to wind up, and that one just turns over in the wind and all the way over to the right-hand sideline, and Yaka will have another opportunity. They do have the full field to play with here. Will not be surprised to see them try and work their way into a huck and gain some ground. They've got the receivers for it.
Well, starting off, it is just a nice movement for an underpass. Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre shoots it to Bocanegra Gomez. Easy, smooth moves. Swan opens up. Oh, well, that's an oil painting of a backhand, but it's not going to connect.
Love the creativity there from Lacoste-Lefebvre. Don't want to get stuck on that far sideline, looking to loop it and use the wind, but just off of the fingertips, not able to come down with that Yaka score.
And of course, Swan already a world champion at the under-20s level on grass, but that's not much of a trophy throw. The second one is, though, Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre connecting. And that will be a good goal for Yaka.
Absolutely swatted down with authority. Florida matching players perhaps a bit casual with that one. They did have the wide open receiver, but needed to put a little bit more effort into breaking the force there, and Yaka gifted a break back. This game showing up to be a tight one, just as we knew it would, and Florida matching players have had a couple of tight games already this tournament, with a Universe win over the Mighty Hucks and a Universe loss against the Hot Mess Express out of Switzerland. So a lot of close games so far.
I mean, Hot Mess Express has got to be one of the best names at the tournament, Jamie.
Yeah, best or worst, depends on your perspective, but yeah.
Well, it is the lovely thing about Beach Ultimate, I think. It's got a nice balance of really competitive, really intense play, whilst also having a slightly more relaxed feel. And certainly for this Florida Matching Players side, they are a collective of athletes connected and residing in Florida, although a couple of them moved up to Philadelphia and made some friends who've come here on the sands in Portimão. But they don't train together too much, but that is an absolute laser of a backhand, but it's going to be chased down perfectly. What a throw. Kate Travellini giving us a clinic.
Incredible form there on that throw. I've seen that throw so many times this week, that downwind leading backhand, and just over and over they sail out of the hands of the receiver or require a big layout, but that one straight into the path of the receiver, and Florida Matching Players put that one in with ease in the end. They're finding their flow here in this game, and these downwind holds just doing the job so far, Florida Matching Players.
Well, if I caught the number right, is that 12 I see on the back of that jersey, Jamie? Because that would be Larissa Ferreira, which is, well, as anyone who's watched UFA, like the Ultimate Frisbee Algarve team play, that's a very Portuguese surname, isn't it?
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, well spotted there, Hannah. Yeah, perhaps a nice little bonus pickup for these Florida Matching Players, one who has had a lot of success on the beach.
Or maybe it's just nominative determinism, you know, success in Portugal with the Portuguese surname. Either way, absolute wheels running that one down. Although I'm not sure how effective wheels always are on sand. So Yaka coming out on offense, really lovely shutdown defense on the far side from Rachel Thompson. Lacoste Lefebvre shoots through. A little bit of point and shoot perhaps from Meunier. Now Autrichon has Swan Lacoste Lefebvre. Oh, and again, it's Bocanegra Gomez that is the target in the end zone. I'm not sure what the actual line management is for Yaka here. They normally are kind of more of a regimented O&D set, Jamie, but it seems to just be a collection of who they think is having a good game.
Yeah, I think on the beach you definitely have to be a bit more flexible. You get those longer points that do tire people out a bit more. You don't want to have to put them straight out if you don't have to, and Yaka confident to use the whole roster here as they need to be if they want to have success in this tournament. And we do see in the end there, able once again to play the disc all the way down the far sideline, down the open side. We did see that point from Meunier to try and just get that little inside break, bit of momentum back into the pitch, but in the end just able to win those battles to the open side and take the fairly easy stroll down the pitch in the end.
Well, everything on serve after Yaka got that break back. So tied up at threes. But of course, if this one trades and goes to Universe, it will be Florida Matching Players with their second win of the tournament.
Nice pull from Yaka to get this point started.
And pulling is so important on the beach here. Brilliant rundown all the way for Peters. Now Wilson with the stall count rising. Great shutdown handler plays as well from Yaka. Lefty backhand. That one scooped up by the fingertips of Peters and scooped up in the end zone off of her throw. Great grab from Natalie Wilson.
Yeah, nicely done, and cheeky little high release flick just to get a bit of air underneath it and trying to give the receiver a bit more time, but Wilson made the play to make that grab. Florida Matching Players, the offense not looking quite so clean as Yaka's this last couple of points. Had to have that almost bail out, some nice staying in the lane from Yaka, just really making the options difficult, but able to come down with it and continue their way to the end zone. Florida Matching Players do continue to hold. As you say, we are still on serve, and Florida Matching Players quite happy with that for now.
Clearly, both teams, as you would expect in a World Beach Championship, are just seeing what works over the course of these games. It's definitely wonderful to see all this play from the women's division. Of course, I think one of the most open of all in terms of who can end up on a podium, but that is a beauty of a put. Just gets past the defender, but what an outstretched grab that was. Woof.
Yeah, I think perhaps even a tiniest bit of a fingertip from the defense, but able to take that one down, snatch it out of the air. Very good grab there.
Insane. I mean, especially on a non-dominant hand, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it had to be that like I say, that fingertip just put it that bit further out of reach, but we've seen some big pickups already in this game off of the sand, and really, really athletic plays out of both of these sides, and it's exactly what we want out of this game here on the show pitch.
Well, both teams clearly having woken up this morning, ready to come here and play. I think it's Langlois with that insane grab, just 24 years old. Sporting hero is her dad.
Oh, very nice.
So, salut to all of the fans watching back home who are francophone.
Yeah, Langlois having a very good game so far. Some crazy catches already, and not even halfway in.
This is what we expect, though, from a beach championship. All of the delivery. And we have beautiful conditions for Ultimate today. A relatively light wind. You can see the flags just being gently caressed by it behind the stands that are slowly starting to fill up. Of course, it was challenging to have too much in the way of crowds yesterday. In fact, there was a point where we had to evacuate the whole beachfront due to the lightning. Yeah,
that was quite exciting. We were just ready to go to commentate, and lightning struck and caused a bit of chaos, but managed to keep on schedule and back in again with Florida matching players shooting early.
Oh, LeBeau, that's gorgeous, and it's going to be good. Wilson doesn't have to make a big layout play this time, just uses the speed. And you can see why Amon Babikian getting that matchup early in the day. Yaka really trying to shut down Wilson, such a dynamic target.
Yeah, Babikian there with a huge bid, but not deterred by the pressure. Wilson just keeps the feet in bounds, manages to make the grab, and really, really nicely done to just get the flow early. And Florida matching players executing the game plan. I think they want to take these deep shots, and executing them so far so good.
Yeah, that's felt a little bit like a pressure bid, Jamie. That kind of, well, I not really got to play on the disc, but if I can launch myself at the sand, maybe I can spook you a little bit. But a couple of veterans on this FMP side are you're going to need to do more than that. And a little shot of us as well in our commentary booth. You're one of the few on our commentary team, Jamie, that makes me look not tall.
Yeah, I mean, that's as part of the reason I got into Frisbee in the first place. Being tall was fairly useful in the early days, and it continues to be now.
Spicy question for you. Is it more useful to be tall on beach than on grass?
Well, that's a very good question. If you'd added indoors in the mix, then indoors would be the answer.
Well, indoors is the cheap one, isn't it, really? And lots of our audience, I'm sure, don't play too much indoor Ultimate. It's more exclusively a Northern European thing.
Yeah, very much.
But it is the most dynamic, watchable version of the sport, and I will hear nothing else. Just because it can't be delayed by lightning, unless it ruins your indoor sports centre. But that's going to ruin a defender's day for sure. What a beautiful treat of a throw that was. Well, both teams really using the arm to make the disc do the work.
Yeah, Lacoste Lefebvre there, just putting it on a platter, easily reeled in.
Well, this is what we expect from a World Beach Championship. World-class throws.
100%. And Lacoste Lefebvre has just been having a bit of a breakout season all around in the European scene. You know, Yaka didn't have the European Ultimate Club Championship finals. Yes, that's the one that they would have wanted. But Lacoste Lefebvre definitely a standout on that team. And yeah, really excited to see what more she's going to be able to do at this tournament and at future tournaments. Just definitely a breakout player.
Yeah, I think it was safe to say that Yaka were disappointed with themselves in terms of their performance on grass at the end of the European season. Of course, the entire calendar pushed a little bit further into the year than normal due to those inclement conditions, but has a great run from Wilson and just goes for the throw and go immediately, causing Yaka to do some very intelligent switching downfield, and that will cause the spill that just dribbles out of this near sideline, trying to connect with Larissa Ferreira.
Yeah, Ullman not quite able to connect with the target there. Bit of a narrow window, and the force doing a great job to make that difficult. And Yaka now with the opportunity to break. There have not been too many turns this game, so this is a valuable opportunity, and immediately shooting.
Well, that's beautiful from Emma Delaunay. Great throw. Kanakaniso pops it back. Mabekon Diasson. Oh, what an inside break that is to Amand Babican. There is going to be a pit call, but might see that one come back.
Yeah, lovely shot there, but suspiciously free, we have to say it.
Well, I mean, not that suspicious. Amand Babican is a really rapid athlete, but talking about the youth talent coming into this game, it is going to be a retracted pick, so that goal will stand for Babican. But yeah, Carolina Mabekon-Diasson, we've been fangirling Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre, but also another of these youngsters coming through, just 19. Of course, part of the under-20s program for the French women as well. So another national champion on grass. No, not one national champion, world champion.
World champions.
Well, actually, technically double. They did it in Palaver as well, these youth athletes for France.
Yeah, very impressive stuff coming out of the French ultimate scene. Really investing into their youth system, and it's paying dividends across the board. And will be really interesting to see what it's looking like in another sort of 3 to 5 years' time. You know, even World Games next year will be a good opportunity for them to show off all of the hard work they've been putting in at the sort of ground floor level. The development in the country is looking really, really good. And this Yaka side taking advantage of that, bringing in those youth players, and they are performing very, very well.
It's interesting though, because we are actually getting to see one of the ultimate hubs doing very well here on the beach, and that's of course Frisbee from BULA, which is the most French-sounding name of a place I think you could ever concoct. Well, a high stall situation, racing underneath is Peters just to give an option for Travellini. But that is a very lofty throw. It's taken away by Wilson regardless though. Go Gadget arms.
Wilson just having an absolute performance in this game, keeping Florida Matching players in it with an important upwind hold. Such a competitive game across the board. I mean, either there's huge defensive pressure or the offense is just finding those gaps and going both ways with both of these teams. But Florida Matching players keeping themselves in this one. Tied game, but Yaka on the offense for the next point.
Well, I tell you what, Natalie Wilson just seems to know the travel of motion of the disc at all times. Of course, you'd expect that from a transportation planner for her day job. She's been playing for 7 years, though. So, a wee youngster, just 26. Although we have been talking about the teenagers on Yaka.
Yeah, I think that's just it's just cheating really when they're that good, that young. So we can still definitely call Wilson young.
We do have as well, to be fair, we've got kind of a really wonderful range of ages on both teams. There are a couple of folks who are Masters eligible on both sides of this matchup, just bringing that extra bit of wisdom as well as the youth. So, Mabekon-Diasson through. Not really any cuts for that fake. But a nice high release now. It's Delaunay, but a pick upfield. We'll just give us a moment to pause.
Yeah, Yaka just looking to work it up the open sideline once again, just winning those foot races in the sand. But Florida Matching players have to clock onto this.
Delaunay with a round backhand that requires the layout from Mabekon-Diasson. Now, Nanu and Leborgne Talk about a veteran on any surface, and it is indeed another inside break. Amand Babiquian making it work.
Yeah, Babiquian finding those gaps, just luring the defender to really be scared of the open side, and just taking a couple of easy steps over to the break and trusting that the whole team have the throwers to hit that space, and they've proven that. And Yaka with that do take half up one break.
Well, maybe we'll get some adjustments from the forces from Florida matching players as Yaka get towards the end zone. That is quite a few inside breaks in a row for goals. But indeed, Yaka putting themselves a nose in front. We will take a break here, though. Don't go anywhere. This women's game will continue for the second half shortly. Second half getting underway in this matchup here at the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2024. That one sails too far for Delaunay, and so an opportunity for Florida matching players to break back and put us back on serve to start the second half. Travellini isn't available until the last moment. We know the cannon that she has. Just threatening that inside channel, does have the reset available, but just chucks it on a high stall because sees an open opportunity. And Wilson in the end zone with the grab again. Although I wonder if that shot was tempted by the other receiver streaking deep.
Yeah, I mean, Travellini with the very convincing fakes, but never able to quite line up with an opportunity in the under or reset space. Has to throw that late just hospital pass to the end zone, but who is there but Natalie Wilson to clean up and get another goal on the board? And that's the break back for Florida matching players.
Well, I'm sure there's one person who's going to be watching that with a deep amount of pride, and in fact, sort of the person named as responsible for founding this Florida matching players team. We've talked about how they're a collective of folks from Gainesville and Miami with some Philly action shoved in there. But why is it that the founder isn't here, Jamie?
Yeah, well, 9 months pregnant, so couldn't quite make the trip over even as a spectator. But yeah, definitely a shout out for Andrea Jakowski. Yeah, brought this group of people together, started the ball rolling, and I'm sure we'll be appreciating being able to watch her team here in sunny Portugal.
Indeed, and congratulations, of course. It's always lovely when Frisbee players, and there's the advantage of people who are born with a womb, that they can create the next generation of ultimate athletes. But congratulations to you. And of course, we'll see you when you're back from maternity leave out here on the sands next time, I'm sure. Although that one is a spill on the defensive break opportunity for Ortner, just not able to get her hands around it. But Yaka now looking to just keep things flowing. Langlois, oh, that's a beautiful up line, but that is not such a beauty of a throw. Natalia Bocanegra overshot. Hostetli, ooh, scoop backhand. Give that a bucket and a spade. Threatening the inside channel. Oh, that's big pressure from Bocanegra, but the pressure is the name of the game, and that one just goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, I think the wind just picking back up a tiny bit. We did have a sort of 10-minute spell where it wasn't really affecting the game, and now we do see these flicks into the wind popping up again for Yaka and causing this to be a bit of a slog of a point.
I felt more felt to me like it was one of those things of, oh, there's a really nice option, I must throw it. It looked a bit rushed.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help.
Wouldn't be the first time that's happened in the game either. There have been a couple of moments where people have just been absolutely miles clear and the disc has gone way, way far. So Bocanegra looking for something in the way of a reset. Oh, what a snatch that was on the ankles. Yaka just trying to keep things easy, grinding up the near sideline. Clichon just puts that one a beauty just in front of the fingers of Lisa Canizio, and that will work for the goal.
Yeah, doing exactly as they have done all game in the end, just taking it all the way down the near sideline, starting with that snag out of a very difficult situation, but continuing it all the way down. Managed to figure out that the wind has picked back up again and took their time, worked it all the way down the pitch, and now that the wind is picking up again, Yaka will be very glad to be starting the defense in this end zone. Still with the lead in their favor, Yaka 8, Florida matching players 7.
So often we talk about the upwind, downwind games and how, you know, you choose the wind rather than offense if you win the toss, action like that. But actually, I think on sand, it's a bit more of an equalizer, whereas if you have sort of a gusty breeze that isn't too terrible, it actually can become more difficult to score points downwind than upwind, because on the upwind, because you move usually considerably slower on sand than grass, it gets the disc just sat up that little bit more, but that's got way too much sit on it. Babican gets a piece that nearly makes it playable for Wilson, but it does end up in the dust.
Florida matching players discovering that the wind's picking back up as well here, and Yaka with another chance. Babican getting moving in the downfield.
Oh, well, that is a big clap of doom in the centre field for Le Mercier. Another squandered break opportunity. Level almost in scores as well as missed ones. That is a beauty of a throw though. Wilson underneath it, just has to sit and wait. Nothing that Delaunay could do about it. Now Peters looking for an option. Speedy rocket on the sand, but it's Wilson that's chosen with a casual move to the open side.
Yeah, Wilson again, they get a bit stuck in the handler space, but once that stall count gets to around 4 or 5, Wilson knows, I'm going to go deep just in case that is the option that comes, and so far has just been taking down absolutely everything and catching that one not quite in the end zone, but still rewarded with the goal in the end.
I wonder if any of the defensive efforts of a team start to have a play call, which is just someone screaming Wilson a la Castaway. Wilson! Every time she kind of goes towards the end zone.
I mean, if that's not one of their celebrations, then I think we need to have a word.
Has anyone got a volleyball that they found? There are many actually around this this pitch site, because Portimão is a hot spot for beach volleyball as well as beach ultimate, of course. And you can actually play a little deep dish disc tour. I heard that was quite fun and was hosted here in Portimão as well, which also featured beach volleyball events.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if this venue wasn't also used for beach volleyball world championships.
And I think there's some goals about, so beach soccer as well. And we are indeed so happy to be here, mid-October. Yes, we had rain yesterday, but it is sunny today, and that is an arcing throw. Wow, how on earth did Audrey Shaw pick onto that? But a little bit too much spice in the mixer for the breakthrough. And the Florida matching players, the full stretch to go. Lacoste Lefebvre with a great mark. Meaning it just has to go laterally. But that one sails past the bidding form of Kelsey Lebeau.
Yeah, and Yaka will get the disc back now, less than half of the field. They are on that far sideline, which is the opposite one to where they like to be. But see if they can still win those open side battles. As a pick called straight away downfield stops the play.
Well, I like the slightly aggressive positioning on the mark from Erin Godding. Just using that sideline to make it all the more difficult, and it is indeed picked off. Great layout from Liam Kravata, sorry. I'm not sure that was necessary, but it looked good.
Yeah, I agree, but Yaka's just trying to force it down that sideline and not successful this time. Perhaps the tired decision-making coming in after this battle of a game.
Well, we are all tied up at 8, so a break here for Florida matching players would be pretty huge, but that one's going to just roll for yards.
And we're effectively going to get a bricked pull start right here.
Well, let's see what Lacoste Lefebvre can do with it. Gets it moving nice and early. Canizzo, oh, that one going to need a second effort, but Delaunay has it. Oh, that's not Delaunay. That's Cecile Meunier. There's a 1, not a 0 after that too. But Boccanegra, oh, that is a visionary thread of the needle. My goodness. A hold for Yaka. And they maintain that little bit of lead in the second half.
Yeah, Yaka finding a couple of tight windows there. Not the cleanest of but managing to make it work and keeping their noses in front in this game as we get right down to the final stages. Yeah, still very much just working it down the open side. They had a couple of nice give-go movements just to gain those few extra yards. And in the end, as you say, finding that gap for the shot to the end zone. But they convert on the goal this time and will be looking to put the pressure on. We do have Babican out on defense. I imagine taking that Wilson matchup, so fireworks to come to be sure.
Travellini with a nice fielding of the pole. Finding herself in that centre pocket. Pereira underneath it, looking for the read. Oh, wow. Tell you what, those Sunnies may be giving an extra bit of help. Peters now. Lovely lead for Travellini, and then immediately punches it into the back cone for Wilson.
I think perhaps Florida matching players one step ahead there. Wilson just coming under and taking the other option in the deep space, and a very nice read from Ferreira. As you say, the sun is in an awkward spot, but it doesn't matter when you got the sunnies on. And then some nice patience and flow from Florida matching players to swing the disc back across to the far side of the field, continue all the way into the end zone for a fairly straightforward hold, which will be very valuable for them. Chance now to put out a fresh D-line and put some pressure on this Yaka side.
Yeah, of course, it is interesting the amount of sunnies that we're seeing on the players. It makes sense the sun is still quite low here. Local time, of course, we are in the morning, about 10:15. But just hope that all of the sunnies are shatterproof, because we do see occasional collisions on beach. In the rules of Ultimate, no matter what surface you're playing on, you're not allowed to wear something which might reasonably harm another player. But the wraparound sunnies, Jamie, fan, no fan?
Yeah, I think I'm a fan. I don't think I could play in them personally because I rely so much on eye contact. But if you're just a big defender going to get blocks, then why not?
I think that might be your youth showing through there, Jamie. Inside threaded to Babican, now Swan Lacoste Lefebvre. Lovely connection. Richon calling for an underneath option. Has Samako. Oh wow, well, that's a wobbly offhand backhand that just sails a little too far. I think Richon a little late on the realization that one was coming at her. Now we move smoothly through. Hostetli with a high release. But relatively calm upfield, but that is an explosive throw that's taken away with the layout from Babican.
Yeah, you bet when Babican is on patrol, she is going to get those sort of blocks. But Florida matching players, for the most part, some good flow there, but I think the tired legs showing through. And Yaka now, the wind has very much picked back up in this upwind direction for Yaka. See if they can escape this corner.
Well, I wonder if we might see, of course, as the game stretches towards the end, a couple of power lines being played by Florida matching players to try and help the offense when they get their opportunities. But that is an opportunity taken. Great play defensively from LeBeau. I take it back. That's not LeBeau. That's Sydney Hostetler. Oh, well, that's an interesting throw and just about makes it to the receiver. Tiana Ruiz with a goal.
Yeah, Florida matching players there managing to dig in and get the disc back off of Yaka. And then you could see, I think across the board, they want to take that shot to the end zone early. Just the pointing coming out, go to the back corner, we'll try and loop something over there. But in the end, just flipping it into the middle of the end zone, caught the defender looking the other way, and the kneeling clap catch to reel that one in. And Florida matching players get the break back on serve and into the lead. So 10 for Florida matching players, 9 for Yaka.
Well, this is delivering us quite the game, Jamie. I think Florida matching players maybe got away with one a little bit there, but that is the nature of D-line offense. Sometimes it doesn't got to look pretty, it just has to work, and it does put pressure back on Yaka with that little nudge in front.
Yeah, 100%, and I think that the timing of the wind picking back up a bit has helped them out there. Yaka not quite ready for it, and Florida matching players, they have Wilson out there, so if they get this disc, they're going to be able to have that big, deep threat.
And they also have Travellini, so maybe they're just rotating through lines rather than going O-line, D-line, but that's a great grab on the run. Oh, but throws it immediately into the face of Aaron Godding. And by face, I mean hands. What a block. Smart poaching in the lane. Now can Florida matching players do anything with it? Travellini with the disc in hand. Rips and sends it to the break side, and that one just missed.
Yeah, I mean, it's been working all game, just taking those shots, but that one, a bit too much zip on it, sails over the outreached arm of Wilson and out of the sideline. So Yaka will be wanting to just calm down a bit here, just play their own offense, need to get this hold in.
Well, the wind direction has now changed. It is a side wind rather than upwind, downwind. So that one's going to sail. Oh my goodness. Well, that was almost absolute perfection. Delaunay just has to sign the bottom of the document, and that one goes in for the hold.
Yeah, I think incredible shot there, just floating it out, trusting that the wind will be there and the receiver will have the legs. And in the end, not even requiring any sort of layout, straight into the clap catch and the easy flip. Yaka still managing to use their legs to win the matchups. It's just all about the throws now and tying the game up at 10 goals apiece.
Well, we have returned to what was happening in the early stages for Florida matching players, I think, a little bit. I mean, mostly by regards to not giving Wilson the throws her cuts deserve quite. They are targeting her, but early in the game, I still remember saying quite a few times that Natalie Wilson was not being connected with on various different throws. So maybe Florida matching players just getting a little bit excitable, perhaps, as the later stage of the game goes on.
I think when you have a player who has reeled in 6 goals already, you know that that's a target that's going to be making these catches, and they're looking to keep using that.
Travellini sits in that reach back for the forehand for almost a solid decade, and a great grab from Kelsey LeBeau just to finish it off. One pass offense. Wow. Yeah,
I mean, Travellini has been putting the disc on a platter in both directions. A couple of mistakes, but that's how it goes when you're the shooter, and for the most part, absolute perfection. And that one, with the sort of downwind, crosswind, a tough throw to execute, but really well read by LeBeau and hopped into the end zone. Nice, quick offensive point, and a little bit of a celebration for the FMP there.
It's interesting not to see the mark adjust when Travellini sits back with that disc, clearly wanting to throw a flick huck for probably about the best part of 3 or 4 seconds, which does feel like an age on an ultimate field. But Travellini coming in, of course, with a heckin' pedigree. She currently resides in Gainesville, Florida, but a Floridian by birthright, from St. Petersburg originally. But was, of course, part of the USA Mixed Masters Beach program, the Beach Worlds winners back in LA last year. So looking to try and throw her team towards another World Beach Championship. But Yaka will, of course, have something to say about that. Bocanegra with the layout, but the throw from Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre is just too big. And another opportunity for a break. The second half being dominated by Florida matching players so far. Ooh, that's an interesting release, but Coolidge keeping calm. Now Harley Peters. Oh, that is an interesting angle on the release. I like the idea, but the execution just wasn't quite the perfection needed. And so Yaka get a little release of oxygen. Meunier trying to deliver something deep, but well stopped. Delaunay up line, has Bocanegra in the end zone. That's going to be way too much, though. Again, maybe both teams having this feeling of my player, my teammate is so open, I'm just going to shoot it where they can't get it.
Yeah, an absolute cannon of a shot there, as we see a few of the turns from this point. The huck going up, not quite the right shape on it. And then, yeah, the overshoot that we just saw out the back of the end zone and wanting to shoot again straight away, or FMP.
Well, a fall in the sand means no defensive pressure can be applied by Delaunay. Nice lead through for Peters. And, oh my goodness, well, how on earth was that hung on to? Marissa Coolidge with another very cool grab indeed.
Yeah, just almost just sticking that one into the outstretched arm whilst hitting the sand, but no question that that was going to just stick straight in there. Very nicely taken down. Florida matching players managing to work back in the upwind direction. And that is a break to take them 2 points clear and 1 point away from sealing deal on this game.
Well, Harley Peters doing an absolutely phenomenal job, I think, as the kind of cog in that offensive set for Florida matching players. Yeah, Tallahassee athlete by birth, but residing in Valparaiso, that's the badger now. Just getting some woosion going, trying to blend my words together. But of course, really fantastic grab in the end zone just to seal the deal.
Yeah, some great stuff out of both these sides here, and Florida matching players just edging in front towards the end, but it's been going both ways, and Yaka very capable of scoring these next couple of points, and they will start with a bricked pull, be able to set their offense exactly how they'd like to, which I'm sure they'll be very happy with.
Well, is it going to be another universe point finish for Florida matching players? Certainly the athlete fielding that pole is someone with a lot of experience. Anne Leborn, Nanu, as she's known on the ultimate scene. There may be 2 4s in her age, but she plays like she's got about half that mileage. And Babiquian scrambling under to take the inside break. And Mabekon-Diasson throws that one a little bit late, and the focus isn't quite there. The drop, and an opportunity opens once again. Now, can Florida matching players finish it? Not quite yet. That one overshot. Nice delivery of a deep option by Ortner, but not quite the determination we've seen on some of the other stretches towards the end zone.
Yeah, we definitely are reaching the late stages of this game. The deep cuts are coming, but not quite with the energy that they've had at the start of the game, and that throw, I think, perhaps could have gone, but needed to get holstered for another second or so and find the right shape on it. But Yaka with the disc again.
Oh, that's a beautiful backhand break to Babiquian, and she's going to absolutely uncork it. Great throw directly into the face of the wind, and this time there's no errors. Julie Binald reeling it in.
Yeah, a great break down the far sideline by Le Bon to find Babiquian in that power position. Fakes to take the defender wide, and then beautiful leading forehand back across the field for the goal. Yaka finding that smooth offense when they need it in this crucial stage in the game. But now Florida matching players will get their first offensive chance to win this game.
Well, match point 1 of 2. Florida matching players looking to try and hold on, but Yaka getting plenty of insight and instruction from their 2 coaches, who have, I don't think, stepped on the end zone line quite so vigorously as they did in this point just now. Of course, Armand Babiquian getting a bit of a cuddle and taking a well-earned break. Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre with the pole that doesn't quite make it to the end zone, but it stays in bounds, most importantly. But Travellini looking to close it out with an absolute beauty of a huck. It's a beast! But the receiver falls. Kelsey Lebeau just getting swallowed up by the sand monster.
Yeah, it looks like an injury being called there. Perhaps just a bit of an awkward landing. Hopefully going to be okay there.
Well, it was a beastly throw, Jamie. Difficult to just see where that one was going to land.
I know, just with these wind conditions, just to not even hesitate and put that all the way to the end zone with some float under it as well. Just unfortunate the receiver lost their footing, and Travellini has been doing it all game.
Well, we've got 2 replacements. I think that's Peters coming on, and Armand Babiquian will replace Swan Lacoste-Lefebvre. So now Yaka have one of their best throwers being replaced by one of their best receivers.
Yeah, Babiquian likely saying that she has the energy to make something happen this point, because Yaka desperately need to put this one in. They've got this opportunity now, and Le Bon will take the stroll over to the disc.
I think that might be Autrichon.
Oh, my mistake.
That's all right. It's not always easy to see. We need sunglasses ourselves up here in the booth. Babiquian pops to Bocanegra Gomez, then just grinds up line. Just the opening speed to get away from Ferreira on that up line, just determination, not trying to do anything funny, going back and forth, just using the dynamism. A bit of hesitation. Oh, Bocanegra Gomez. Well, those 2 are just basically making all the yards for Yaka to try and get this break to bring us to Universe. A pick, I don't think will impact that throw to Babiquian.
Yeah, as you say, eating up the yards between Bocanegra and Babiquian down the near sideline. Perhaps might need to get someone else involved here. Bocanegra not in the greatest position here in the open side.
Well, it's coming in on 1, so they do have a little bit of time. Oh, wow, look at that spin move from Bocanegra. Identified quickly and sent for the score. We're going to Universe.
Yeah, making me eat my words there. Bocanegra knows better than me how to cut in the sand. Just looks like she's clearing across, plants that foot, spins back to the front corner, and Babiquian is going to find that one every day of the week. And 12 apiece, we have got the full game in front of us, as many points as we could possibly get. And Yaka will be coming out on defense to see if they can get the block on Florida matching players. And I won't be surprised to see a bit of a Travellini to Wilson effort from the Florida matching players, but we'll have to see what both teams have in store for us for this crucial Universe point.
Indeed, the second round of pool play in this women's division. You had the initial seedings, pools A through E. This is pool H, hotting up in front of us. Of course, alongside they've got Valkyria, Sloppy Stakes, and Undercover Dresden making up this group. The top 2, of course, seeds advancing into the bracket straight away. The third spot in this pool, which is currently Yaka. Of course, though, we haven't had many games played in this second stage, just the Valkyria Undercover Dresden one, which was a win for Valkyria, unsurprisingly, that Swedish team with a couple of extra folks. But this one, potentially to see which opponent might go through straight away and who's going to have to play out that third placement crossover. So Travellini with the disc, pops it across and then gets it straight back. I have a feeling we're going to see that number 15 go every other, putting the team on her shoulders. Oh, well, that's a beaut for Wilson. That's the game. No questions asked. Going to what's worked so frequently, and Florida matching players get another win on Universe.
Yeah, just a tiny bit of discussion there, but it is called the goal in the end, yes. Florida matching players taking that one down, and exactly as we thought, Travellini to Wilson, couldn't have ended it any other way. A great bit of movement from Wilson to get herself free in that side, and Travellini has been absolutely on the money this game with all sorts of throws, as we see Wilson there just reeling that one in, getting finnied. But yeah, what a game we had right there, Hannah.
Indeed. Well, Kate Travellini, of course, inspired by the likes of Robin Fennig, who's also here on the beach in Portimão. So, I mean, real inspirational. Started playing because she needed a physical outlet and she liked running. Although clearly in the, not the sunset, the champagne season of her career is absolutely going and doing damage. But we're going to get an interview, I'm sure, because I can see them walking alongside with Liam Grant's going to be talking to Natalie Wilson, who probably is the other person who deserves a shout at the Player of the Match award.
Yeah, 7 goals there for Wilson and some crazy skies. Really, really impressive, especially in the wind and in the sand.
Yeah, I have a suspicion of the 7 stats that both of those players have. A lot of them were connections together, but Wilson probably maybe doing the harder job of running on sand, because it isn't easy out here for sure. But what a game we had. I mean, in terms of the numbers, very close indeed. But Florida matching players doing what they needed to do, and we're going to throw down to our sideline interview.
Here at Natalie Wilson just caught the game-winning goal in another Universe Point match. How was it out there playing against the French?
It was awesome. Very tight game, very fun to play competitively. It's much more fun to have a close game than, you know, a lopsided game either way. So a lot of fun.
And you've had a couple of Universe Point games this week so far. How's the whole week been? Are you enjoying your time here in Portugal?
Yeah, we've had a great time. Yesterday was a little cold. We're from Florida, so we're used to it being like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was pretty cold. We had a tough time, but today's a lot better.
You scored 7 goals in that game, got the game-winning goal. Where did that nose from the end zone come out of, the connections with your teammates?
Some of us play on a club team together in the States, so just knowing that they'll trust me and throw it to me.
Okay, so yeah, I think you're 3-1 or 3-2 for Universe Point games, or 2 out of 3?
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Well, best of luck in the rest of the tournament. Hopefully have some more exciting games. That was a really fun one to watch. Congratulations.
Well, Liam Grant there alongside Natalie Wilson. Wilson! As she goes towards the end zone. What a highlight reel of an individual. And indeed, big shout out to all the folks from Florida watching this live stream. Either live or on demand. It's great to have you alongside us, folks. Free coverage coming out of the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2024, the debut. Jamie, what are your final thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we knew at the start it was going to be an entertaining matchup. Both these sides very strong, very much wanted this game, and we had so many highlights throughout the game as we see some of them now. And just from both sides, some of the layout grabs, even throughout the entire game, it's not like it got close and people started throwing themselves about. It was right from the start, and definitely a game that is going to be worth watching back, and it's going to be a great one for all of the Floridian fans to wake up to and watch back home. yeah, really, really excellent stuff out of both sides.
Well, it was a strong start for Florida matching players. They took those 2 points, the hold and the break, to get us going. Yaka definitely had some wonderful moments, some beautiful layouts, as you just see there, as well as some super powered throws. So hopefully both these teams will see themselves in that 1-16 bracket at the end of the standings here in Portimão. But for us, we're going to roll straight through a full slate of games for today's viewing delight and pleasure. Next up, it will be some more French joy in the mixed division, though. It's going to be Malcho versus Putti from Finland. So watch that one. All of the action here from the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2024. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you for the next one.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
Like the others, they do not need to know. You said you fall with me, no matter how deep it goes. With my head underwater,